Welcome everybody. It's Gull Khan here, your money mindset expert, and I help entrepreneurs to break free from their limiting beliefs, to reverse their money shame, and to blast through the money blocks so that they can live a life of unlimited abundance. And we are here talking to Nancy Haynes about her experience of being in the Millionaire Mindset Mastermind. Welcome, Nancy. How are you, darling, my lovely?
Hi, I'm doing great. Thank you very much. Excited to have this chat.
Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Okay, let's get straight into it, Nancy. Now, Nancy, tell us, first tell us who you are and what do you do and why do I love you so much?
So I am a confidence coach. So I do corporate training and development and also one-on-one coaching for confidence building for both men and women.
Oh, fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Now tell us, Nancy, how did you come across me and how did you actually find me before?
You know what? I've had you you popped up on my feed and I just requested friend. And then I've just been following you for a while. And it's just been there that you pop up with the tips and I've just kind of been checking in. And then I decided to do your 5-day challenge, which was amazing. If anybody does it, just do it. It's free, you guys. There's nothing to it, but the benefits are.
The Millionaire Mindset Makeover Challenge. Yeah, that's what you did.
Yes, that's the one that I did. And it changed enough to where I wanted to get more taste. I got like a taste of it and I'm like, I want to take a big bite now. So what's
Oh, fabulous, fabulous. So before you joining the mastermind, what was your mindset like? How were things for you before?
You know what? It was very tough. And I think I moved here to Dubai about 3 years ago. And I think from coming from LA in California, my identity had shifted completely when I moved out here. And things were just not vibing and not happening. And it was, when you hit that point of, I have nothing left. Like, I don't even have faith. I have no hope. Like, there's gotta be something else like that. When you hit that point of either I do something or that's it, like I'm done. Like I have nothing else to do and nothing else to live for. And it was that like tough. And I will say like, it was that pinnacle moment for me that it was like, I have to do, like, I have no other choice. I have to do it. And that's where it was like, where somebody comes in with no hope and no faith that anything is possible, honestly. Yet for the public, I could easily put on the face and like, I was that.
Yeah.
People me for help, and then I'm like, guys, I'm running on empty. Like, I don't know what's going on. Oh, but that's what it was. Yeah.
So what made you join the mastermind? And so what was about my energy, or what was it about the challenge that attracted you to actually say, no, I want to do, because and the mastermind requires both financial and time commitment. So what made you jump on?
The reason why it made me, one, it definitely is, I feel, and I feel like it's the person that you're going to be with as far as the teaching. Yeah. You have to like vibe together. If it's something that drives you nuts about them, I don't like when they do this, I don't like when they do that, you are not going to fully allow their energy to immerse into yours to help like upgrade you.
Yeah.
And that was the one thing for me, even during the 5-day challenge, like where it's like quick, like, look, this is what we're here to do. This is the work, do it. And like, no BS. And I'm kind of like, yes, please. I don't have time to waste. Like I genuinely like do not have. And when you're on it, like, okay, look, this is the teaching. This is what you do. This is what you got. And it's like, okay, full, like that's exactly what I needed, where I'm like, I don't want to tiptoe around things or fluff it up. Like I want to know what I need to do so that I can do it, take action and move forward. And I think that was a big one where I'm like, she knows what she's talking about and it's moving forward. That's it.
Fabulous. Fabulous. So since joining the mastermind, now the USP of my mastermind is the unique energy clearings and also obviously the manifestation calls. What has your experience been? And did you have any energy clearings before coming in, or were you familiar with energy tools, etc., before joining the mastermind?
Yes. So before the mastermind, I was clearings. I have done it with other people before, which has been amazing. But I think this one was very specific as far as your money mindset. Yeah. And I think I was really looking forward to something more specific Because when I do clearings of other things, it's, you know, life stuff and other stuff, and it's not necessarily pinpointed to the money and the blocks in itself and exactly what it is. And I think that has been a big one, because when I was doing the clearings, random stuff was happening. Like the moment I would have a clearing, like within a day to 3 days, something would happen that you realize, oh my gosh, that has to do with that clearing. And so, and I think that's like, you almost feel supported. You feel like, okay, look, we get to see you, you know, once every 2 weeks or whenever the, you know, the calls are. And then it's like throughout the week, you kind of feel like the clearing is a little bit of a support, like, come on, stay on track, boom. Okay, I'll do a clearing. And then you keep going. And then the manifestation calls, like I look forward to them so much that even when I was on a trip to Singapore, I literally told my husband, no, I need to be in the hotel room with Wi-Fi at this time. He was like, can't you just like watch the replay? I'm like, no, I need to be there because I just need to do it. And it's that sense of, again, because I was like running on empty on like hope and faith, those manifestation calls are what got me, even if it's just through the hump of 2 weeks of just kind of filling yourself up again, because you're running on empty. And it's like the gas that like you keep putting in, you know, the petrol, and the way you guys say it, that you put it in. And that's what like kept me going. And so I cannot tell you, without those two things, that's what made, like, that was the thing that I needed. Like, that was the best thing I could have possibly done.
Brilliant, brilliant. Now let's talk a bit more about the energy clearings. If someone hasn't experienced energy clearings, it sounds really absurd, and it's very difficult to put into words. It's something that you experience, not listen to or hear about. So what would you say to somebody who thinks, well, what is all this clearing about? What was your experience?
I think you have to understand the point of a clearing. And I think it's if you're ready. Yeah. When I was listening to the, you know, I know everybody's like, what is it? What is it? And it's a recording, you're listening to it, but there's so much more happening in the background.
Yes.
That for people, if they don't tangibly see, well, I didn't get a check in the mail, or I didn't get this, it could be disheartening for them, and then they don't believe it. But when you know something is shifting, like in your body, you just know it, like either you feel lighter or something is happening, or you feel like you need to rest, and you just have to like block everything out because things are shifting inside of you, that you understand that you are your priority. Your building blocks of other crap is falling apart and new stuff is coming on. It's hard to kind of sit back and wait because you just want to like keep going, but to understand that it takes that the foundation building blocks, our cells, our body, like everything, and that the clearings are supporting of moving stuff that's not supposed to be there. It is truly transformational.
Yeah. Yep. It really is. So the energy clearing is unique because, mine ones are unique because we actually shift your energy. And even if you do, most of the time, a lot of people feel pain or discomfort, or their head's dizzy, or their heart's pumping. And even if you don't feel the physical discomforts, which I call it, everyone is usually tired because we've shifted so much energy, and that alone makes you weird. Oh my God, I've shifted energy. And then and it takes 48 to 72 hours for the energy to integrate into your energy. And once it does, you have the shift, and that's when things start showing up, and miracles are showing up, and all these serendipitous moments show up. That's why it happens, because now your energy shifted, your vibration shifted, and therefore you're attracting different things or different opportunities. And that's how miracles show up. Right. So let's quickly talk about the community in the mastermind. Now, I think everybody knows I'm very picky with, who I allow into the mastermind. I choose my clients, not the other way around. If I think you're right for the mastermind, I will say, as you know, I say, I would love for you to be part of it. If not, I'd say, I would love to be, but I'm sorry, you're just not the right time or the mental space to be able to be part of the mastermind. And there are various factors for it. So because I'm so picky, what would you say about the community within the mastermind? What was your experience been like with them?
Do you know what? You genuinely feel the support for one another. Like when somebody has a question about something that's going on, like you genuinely feel like, okay, I need to push you forward if I'm able to, and I can push you forward, and then you're fine. but then you're looking at everybody else, not that you know them and not that you've met them, but you just immediately feel that like community feel of, okay, they're going through a tough time. Okay, oh my gosh, it's okay. Like I am too. Are we going through this? Like where you genuinely do feel like we are there to learn from one another. And that's the biggest thing is somebody else's situation. You might be able to pick up a nugget from like what they're going through and you're like, oh, that's me. So it is, I think that's the uniqueness in the community is that you do feel like there is that sense of I've never met these people, but I already know that our entire energy is together. And so it's up to me to take responsibility and actually do the work because I don't want to be the slacker at the end of the line, like, thanks to you, you know. Oh, no. So it does also hold you accountable.
Yeah, it does. Now, I think that one of the beauties of the reason why you feel connected to people you've never met before, and we don't have that much, I don't know how much interaction people have outside the group, but I haven't seen, you know, there are wonderful friendships that have been formed, but generally when we first come together, it's because when we do the manifestation calls, I collectively sort of entangle everybody's energy because we form a morphic generic field around everyone. And when we manifest together, that's why our manifestations are that powerful. We collectively use each other's energies for our own manifestations, and that's where your energies intermingle, and therefore you feel a sense of, yeah, I know this person. You feel connected to them because we are one community, and that's the beauty of this mastermind, which really is a mastermind. So tell us now, Nancy, what exactly have you what have been your major wins thus far? You only joined a couple of months ago. You joined back in October, but what have you been your no, it was in October. It wasn't October, wasn't it?
I think it was end of October, beginning of November.
Yeah, so it's just been a couple of months. So what have been your wins thus far?
Oh my gosh. I think one of the biggest ones is the sense of hope, and like everything else has, as it's gone up, things have been coming to me. Where conversations that like I had never, a big one actually, which I'll be talking to them next week, is a random person said, hey, you're a great presenter. Why don't you present for my company around the world and I can pay you for that? And I was like, oh, I never thought about that for myself. Like, why do you want me to present? Because you're good. Never would I think that's a business model. Like, it was just one of those moments of like, that's why, because I'm ready. And hearing what they were saying. And you know what? It's the thing of divine timing where it's like, well, we can't meet this week. We can't meet that week. Okay, we need to meet before end of Jan. And I was like, oh my gosh. But it's that moment where you take a step back and you know, this, if it's meant for me, it will be. And the fact that that is happening, it's like, oh my gosh, because I would have never seen that before. And I would have never been open to that kind of possibility to come my way. And it doesn't make me nervous. Like, it doesn't make me like, oh my God, what am I gonna, no, like, it just feels like if it's for me, this is the one for me, because it's not anything I would have ever imagined. And you know what? A big one is making peace with numbers. I think the fear of just numbers and I can only make this much. Well, okay, if I work this, like you start thinking of, I have to do this. I have to do that. I must get X amount of clients because I can't make any more. Like you start limiting yourself even in that space. And when I finally truly just let go and said, I'm just going to go and be in the flow. I don't need to know what direction it's going. I just need to be in the flow. I was now like attending a trading course and seeing my complete visibility into something that I would have never been exposed to. I would have never said, I want to start learning this stuff. I'm thinking now, well, if they can do it, if he can do it, it's a male dominated industry. If they can do it, why not? I can do it too.
Yeah.
And now that is like when you feel like, oh my gosh, like I can do anything. Like I genuinely can do anything. And that's the part where I'm like, I would have not been able to, I think I would have still been stuck. I'm like, I would have still been stuck, you know, a few months ago. Whereas now I feel like the chains have come off and I'm going. Now the walk is happening and I'm like, oh my gosh. So that has been the biggest one.
I think that's a major one. From starting off with somewhere where you felt lost and empty and you felt you couldn't go anymore, to to now thinking the world's my oyster. I can do whatever I want. I can even go into a whole new industry, whether it's trading, whatever, and I can make a go of it. I mean, I think before we pressed the record button, you were saying something that you never would have thought about trading, but also normally the kind of trading gurus that come up, they sort of put you off. But now you've attracted a guru who you energetically vibe with, somebody you can actually resonate with. And that is something which is amazing, because people don't realize you attract people to you. And when the student, I always say this, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. So when you were ready for me, I appeared, and we began working together. So now that we've done your mindset shift, you're ready, and this other teachers appear to teach you about trading. And I think that's a brilliant, really, really big mindset shift and a brilliant win.
Massive. I've attended so many conferences where there's traders, gurus there, they have billions and millions and whatever, but none of that, I knew something in me found that fascinating, but that still was like, no, that's not for me. Like, that's not for me. I think now that I've just been open, that person that I'm like, I resonated with the way that he spoke and the way that he did it. It was just like, you find that and you're just like, okay, now I understand why I am ready now. If I was that fear of numbers would have stopped me before. And now it's like, I'm so open to it that it is possible. And that's the thing, going into the right mindset of, oh my gosh, I can do anything I set my mind to. This could be another way. And I would have never imagined it. It's insane. It's insane.
It really is. And think about it, this has happened just over the last 2 months. We've got another 10 months to go. The mastermind is 12 months long. So you can imagine the miracles showing up in the next 10 months.
And you know what, it's exciting. It's one of those things that you almost look forward to what's going to happen next. Your mind goes into what's going to happen next. I wonder what's going to happen next. And you get into that flow versus, well, nothing has happened. Well, it's not what I said. Whereas you could easily get caught up in that.
Yeah. Well, I always say when you're creating, you need to create from the unknown, because if you're creating from the known, then how can you create something new? So you have to create from the unknown and allow the universe to bring unknown opportunities to you. You just need to know what you want. The method on how you're going to get it will be made, will be shown to you, and it may be from a complete different sources that you may not even think about. Maybe, I don't think trading was something that you were even contemplating seriously until now. And now it's something that you are thinking, one, you are ready for it mindset wise. But second, you also have attracted the right mentor who can teach you about it. So super, I think that's brilliant. Now let's tell me, what would you advise, Nancy, somebody who's on the fence thinking, well, this sounds really good, but the financial commitment's too high. I don't think I can afford it. I can make that kind of commitment every month. Or the time commitment's too much and I don't think I can commit that much time to it. It just seems too much for me. What advice would you give to someone like that?
My advice to them would be, you don't have the time not to. The time is going to go by anyway. So you can either spend that 1 hour watching the video and doing the work, or you can spend that 1 hour crying and trying to figure out, what am I going to do? Like, at least for me, and much more for me, because thinking about, having a family, that is not something that I can play with time. It's, like, I'm not at the age where I'm not in my 20s where I could say, well, I've got 10 years, I'm okay. It's something that has to be done now. And if you are on the fence of it and you feel like, well, this is not, I'm not sure. Are you willing to bet on yourself? At the end of the day, are you willing to bet on yourself? Because if you do the work, and it may take longer, and it's not immediate, and it's not like, oh my gosh, I'm a millionaire in day one. Like, no, but when you know that the light is right there, like you can see it, it gives you that confidence in yourself to say, look, I know I'm like crawling, but at least I'm crawling and I'm going in the right direction, versus it just being, I'm sitting here paralyzed from the fears, from the doubts, from the worry, and there's nothing that you're going to do anyway. So why not? If you are going to bet on yourself, just do it this way.
Brilliant, brilliant. I think that's brilliantly said. Yeah, your time's going to fly anyway. So if you're thinking you don't have time, I don't think you have time not to do it. And I completely agree. And financially, I always say you make the commitment, and if the universe wants you to do it, then it'll find the way for you. And it always shows up. Things always show up and things always work out. So absolutely, it's your decision to make, and it's whether you're ready to invest in yourself, both time and actually in money as well, which is brilliant. Okay, my lovely. So thank you so much for sharing experience with us. It's been lovely talking to you. Tell us, Nancy, where can we find you? What are your social media handles?
On Instagram, it is _confidence_catalyst. And on Facebook, just go under Nancy Haynes. You'll find me there.
Awesome. Fabulous. Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you, Nancy. I'm sure we'll catch up again in another few months to see how your trading and everything else is coming along, and all in witness your major wins. Until we speak again, thank you so much for joining me, and everybody else watching, thank you so much for watching another episode of Mastermind attendees, or the alumni. She's got another 10 months yet. But thank you for watching. I'll be back with another episode with somebody else sharing their experience of being in the Mastermind. Until we meet again, take care and bye for now.